Okay, so what's everybody? So, um, we are doing a Appify 3.0 release update on how to work Appify. It's actually very simple to use, very simple. Um, and while we're here, I will also go over to other tools, which are these two right here. So, yeah. So let's go ahead and get underway. So, Appify is a very easy tool to use. Very easy. Okay. So let's say I wanted to search something up. We'll do Photopea. I could do Microsoft Edge, or I could do Firefox if I want to. Okay. So let's do Firefox. We'll hit install, launch. Done that fast. Now, as you can see here, we have, the browser and everything like that, UI and all that, which is normal. So if I were to actually do Photopea on, let's say, Microsoft Edge, okay? Now, because I did delete this, I'm going to have to go ahead and restore it. It's going to pop up. There we go. And we're going to do it on Brave. I'm going to show you something here. So, I do on Brave. You can see here, the whole UI is not there. This is the difference between Chromium and Firefox, which we do have a workaround for that. So, I know some people are like, well, why do I have to restore default apps? The reason why this logic is there is because you may install custom apps that you may want to get rid of. And so there's a catalog, and then there's actually a JSON that actually houses the offline aspect. So if like you're offline, you have no internet, but you still want to install an app, you can still do that with the install custom or with the saved catalog in the JSON. So now, as you saw with the Firefox, right? Because really the Appify, that's how easy this is, literally. Because you can even browse by category if you want to install something. But with the Firefox, as you notice something, they had all yellow UI, right? Well, if you see here, you got user Chrome CSS and content CSS. So this right here is actually very simple to use. Now the only problem is that if you have like a favorite, because I know there are a lot of people who like using the if you're a power user, you like using this stuff. Because I am one too. But if you like the JS stuff, this is not gonna work out for you. This is just gonna be the Chrome and the content CSS. So with Appify, I do actually have examples that you can use. They're very simple. They're not major. They're not really like, oh, this is so cool. It just shows you what you can do. So then we'll just use that. And this is literally all you have to do. Like, you find one that you like and it has just these two files, I mean, you can use whatever. So we'll go ahead and make sure we get Firefox selected. You can see here, it says right here, right? Everything is being built as you go. So there is no actual file saved yet. It's just preparing the file. So I click install, launch. You see that UI stuff is all gone. You just have basic, forward, back, exit, minimize, full screen. So again, you can use this if you want to. This is not like an official support Appify thing. It's just, I made it just so that way people could test it, see if they like it, maybe a feature that you want to use or something, because it does give a whole app kind of look. But yeah, so but again, you may not want to. So you get GPU acceleration, kiosk mode, web HID for things like Microsoft Edge or whatever else have you. You can see here, you're going to actually see, it's going to tell you Chromium browsers only. When you have Firefox selected, it's just going to, you can't click this. So If you don't like the icon, you can change the icon. Because if I were to go over here and I were to search Photopea, there it is. I can click it from here even. There we go. Don't show me this again. And then we can just exit out. Then again, you know, like I said, delete profile, delete it. You're going to restore default apps, store. There you go. Now, let's say that you did want to use this right here, okay? I'm going to tell you a neat little trick. This right here, install, will turn into update settings. So if you have this, all right, if you have the ones that I have on the GitHub, but then you find one you like, you just, you know, select all here, and then you're going to delete everything from both sections. And then up right here where it says install, it will say update settings. So I'll show you. You see right here, update settings. So when you actually change this, it will change it to whatever you have here. So yeah. Okay, we're going to delete that. But yeah. Now one thing about dark mode. So there's a weird thing going on with it right now. I'm not sure what I did. So I had to go with the style sheet. It doesn't affect anything. It just looks a little different than what I was picturing. So when you click it, as you can see here, like I said, it looks a little different. You know, the blues are replaced with blacks and grays, which is fine. That may be something you like. So, but the UI kind of shrinks a little bit. If you look, it kind of shrinks. It's not a whole lot, but it shrinks. So I don't know what I did there, but there you go. So, but yeah, that is Appify. We go ahead and close out of that. The next two is Grix and FanHub. So let's open FanHub. And as you can see here, I can hover over this just to get an overview. So, and you can see here, we got a lot of sensors. Now you're going to see, you know, the RPM 0%. Here's the thing. Okay. So it's saying that, but it's not at 0%. Linux is very finicky, okay, with how things are. So if you look at the GPU, it's going to say, you know, it's going up, it's going down, but 0 RPM. Again, it's the sensors, it's not me, it's not FanHub, okay? It's just Linux. So, and then I can go over here to fan control. If I want to, I can crank this all the way up. And I don't know if you can hear my fans revving up, but they're revving up right now. So, let's keep this around 50. No, actually, you know what? I'll keep it around 70. We can do the same here. Then that should start revving up. Or is that actually at max speed already? To remember. There it goes. It's starting to a little bit. I think. Okay, let's actually turn it down. We're just going to test it just to be sure. Yeah, so there it goes. You can see it's turning now. So it was already set on max. So if I go back to 100, there it goes. So there's a little glitch there somewhere. I'll need to fix that. Now you can do set all fans if you want to. So you can do your fan curves. As you see, you're going to get live data on how your system is. So you can set your fan curves however you want. However, doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do. RGB lighting. Now you can see it says connected to 0 devices. That's because my fans, my case fans, do not have a motherboard. I mean, they have a motherboard, but they don't have a motherboard connection. They have their own little. I have an Appify. Okay, I was back in college. I didn't have enough money to get like a really good case and fans. Okay, so anyways, they're daisy chain, so they don't really have. They have their own control and everything. They don't really talk. And that's a limitation. Now it will still see like your keyboard stuff. You know, I do have a Corsair keyboard. Now here's the reason why it's not showing up right now. It's because I have to reconnect OpenRGB, and for some reason it's not reconnecting with this. I don't know what's going on here. So because that's supposed to reconnect it. So we will have to go ahead and this up, start it. Come on. Okay, there we go. There it is. There it is. Okay. So anyways, yeah. So you can see it just detected my keyboard, so I can go down here. I can click this, and my keyboard turns colors. So I keep it on purple because I like purple. I like purple. Okay. Sue me. I don't have a liquid cooler, so I can't really test this out. This is one of those things, it's kind of in beta because I don't have the hardware to test it. So you can test it if you want to, see how it works. I just followed the documentation and just did my best. So, I mean, it does see it, so hopefully. This is when you change your profiles and everything for what you want to do. And then you get your settings, and there's quite a few settings here. So, emergency temperature when it automatically does it and everything. So, I mean, you got a lot of stuff. The background daemon, so you can have it run the fan curves that you saved at boot. Okay, so there's a few things here. Yes, it does work. Looks like I still have some rough edges to work out, because now it's showing the percentage. My guess is that I probably saved it on an older build at max, and the newer build just didn't pick it up. That's my guess. Just, well, I'm assuming anyways. So, if we exit, it's going to be in the tray icon still. So I can just hover over any time, and there you go. It's just going to give you all the readings you need. So, okay. Let's see, gotta do that. All right. Anyways, last one is Grix. So we can do it over here because we got it down here. So open that up. You got the System Sentinel. You've got the dashboard, Linux Academy. Now, Linux Academy is basically what you think it is. It will teach you Linux. Not 100% teach you, but it will teach you. So, you've got a sandbox terminal you can test things out on. And like I said, you got this right here. But if you do the System Sentinel, all you gotta do is just do this. Quick scan. And there you go. Now, if I go down here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, because I know one that's going to make it change, which is Dick Disk space. Wow, disk space. Disk space. Yeah. That's totally what I meant. It was disk space. Wow. Wow. Okay. So, anyways, as you can see here, little green guy turns a little yellow. Also turns yellow down here. This is just letting you know, hey, you need something to pay attention to here. So, we can review and apply. We can close that. And then if we hit scan again, it's going to show that really didn't help much. But that's because, your personal cache is always going to have something in there. But this is because of my drive. I have a 250 gig drive, so it fills up pretty quick. So, if you know that you have the issue and you're just, like you don't really care right now, you can ignore for a week, ignore forever. I suggest only ignore for a week. And you can see it updates. You explain this error. Now, this only works for errors that it knows of. It does not know every single error that is ever going to happen to possibly ever happen on any Linux system. Okay? It just won't. You can do a system timeline if you want to. You can build it from here. You do your repair history. So you can see I've got quite a bit since last month. So mostly, honestly, it's been package manager stuff. This does not take over your package manager. You can still use your package manager. This just works alongside it. I would recommend you still use your package manager. Just because this may not see everything your package manager does. So just a word of caution. So settings. So we can do like, show again, like we did on System Sentinel. And then we can do like the policy kit. You can do remove or install. Obviously, you're going to install it. You got to. Otherwise, this is not going to work. We can do the coverage list, and it's going to explain it, everything that it covers. Plugins, because I can't cover everything. Like, I just made this as safe as possible with as minimal stuff that it can check into that a lot of people would not really check into. Like how to fix it, because they're like, I don't want to get into the terminal. So this is just the common fix stuff. So all the advanced stuff I left out. Okay. So probably the most advanced stuff is Pipewire that it'll handle, but that's basically about it. So it reads your system, it tells you what's going on, it says, hey, look, I can do this, I can fix that. But it only does the safe stuff. It doesn't do all the expert stuff. And I'm not going to code it for that. That's what the plugins are for. If you know how to do it and you want to do it, there you go. You can do it. And yes, this is going to be released soon. That's why I'm doing these little demos here. System info. So system info is one of those things where it just shows you the information. Now, you need kernel auto-tune for this to show up. Okay? It's going to give you everything. It's going to give your entire information. So, as you see, it's a lot of information. So, this shows you the configuration. This is not where you configure it, by the way. You're not going to configure it here. You have to configure it through WinBridge when WinBridge comes out, which I'm going to have to dial that back a little bit just because of I was hoping to get some mod tools working, but unfortunately I can't get them working. I've tried a lot of stuff. But yeah, it's just not working. Anyways, so yeah, this does a lot. Like I said, here's your diagnostic stuff. You can see that it covers quite a bit of area. It doesn't cover everything, okay? But it covers quite a bit. So, yes, before I actually do forget, the auto scan. So you do have an auto scan on this. So what'll happen is that every hour, because that's how I've set it right now, every hour it will scan on its own, And then down here, it'll send you a little notification saying, hey, so there's something wrong. But only send it when something's wrong. When everything is good, you don't see anything. But it's like, so I just noticed something. I need you to look at this. And that's what it'll do. So, local insights, this right here. So as you can see here, this is all the information it's going to show. It does not ever send this to me or any other party. This is just for you to have to see things. For Grix to be able to like, okay, this is my common issues I'm going to have. Okay? That's about it. Now you can see like boot flag. That's just basically saying your boot is kind of slow. Mine's not really slow. It's just not as fast as it should be though. See, services flagged. That's because of FanHub services is turned off. That's pretty much it. I mean, honestly, that's the reason why services are flagged. Permissions, just some file permissions that I don't have access to, and that's because I didn't want to have access to those. But there's a whole reason to that. Any hoozy. So, I mean, I have access to them. It's just in a different way. So, yeah, just all kinds of stuff. But yeah, you can close out of it, and it'll still be down here. So, those are Appify, FanHub, and Grix. So, yeah. Sorry if I rambled a lot, because I do that sometimes. But, anywho, yeah. Hopefully, you know, y'all like what I'm building here. I've got a few little things to go with WindBridge before I can safely say I'm going to release it. But, yeah. All right. Thanks for watching. See y'all later.